Hello, welcome, it's me, Chrono JJ, coming back with some more Age of Mythology action, as some would say. We were watching the Athenian League. It's the first semifinals. We have reached 4 players left in each tier. We are starting our semifinals down in the classical tier, which is the lowest of the 4 tiers. We are watching Swerteko versus Ironhide. Ironhide, one of our number 1 finishers, one of our group winners. And he is playing Freyr. And on the left is Swerteko playing as Odin. The only thing I don't like is for some reason my music cut out, and I kind of like to have the music playing in the background. I think that happens when I Alt-Tab. So anyway, this is game 1 of a best of 5 series. We are on the Unknown, which is always our game 1 map. And there is no fish on this one. Now there is some water, some shallows, but kind of the rule is for the Unknown is if there's fish, you will start with a pack of fish in line of sight somewhere. Like even if they're down here, you'll have vision of them. And hello, Benny. Good to have you on board. Yes, I believe that Ironhide is a fellow German, correct? Whereas Swerteko is all the way over from, I think it was Indonesia. So not a lot of Indonesian players, I feel like, but a lot of Germans. We have a lot of Germans in the Athenian League, and I got knocked out by one. So I am not a fan of Germans, and I really hope this Swerteko wins just to stick it to Isomardo, right? Because I'm petty like that. Ironhide, from doing a little bit of checking just before we came into the series, he has been playing purely Norse in the Athenian League, whereas Swerteko kind of changes gods a little bit of Norse, a little bit of Greek, a little bit of Egyptian, and I believe he used all of those in the round before. But he'll have some work set out in front of him because Ironhide has not lost a match. He went 5-0 in the group stage, finished with a 11-4 record. That's pretty good. Though Swerteko not too far behind. He was 10-5, placing second in the other division. So we fast forward a little bit the early stages of the game. We look like we've gotten. There's a lot of eye candy on this map, but in the end, it seems like it's just a pretty standard land map, though we do have second town centers forward right in the middle of the map. Another thing to look for is, like, do we have a back gold? We do. I would assume then that Swerteko would have a back gold, though I don't think he's scouted it. And it's probably, yeah, right here. He doesn't know about it. Sometimes with these unknown maps, like, the spawns are a little bit goofy, so you really have to check the corners and the edges because you never know where a gold mine might be. Now, both of these players wanted this relic, and Swerteko has snagged it, and it is one of these 3. He's got, I can't read it. Myth units are cheaper. Farms are cheaper. And myth units move faster. And we have a forest fire used on the bottom. I'm not paying attention. I don't even know where it is used. It's used down here, and Ironhide apparently hasn't noticed because he's going to lose a villager to a very slow. Oh, this is where the AI in the game is really pretty frustrating at times. So the Herseer changed off of the villager that was almost dead because he got nudged just a little bit by another villager. Like, it's almost like in this game. Like, if you just get a tap on the back, if a unit gets a tap on the back from like something else that he's not targeting, he'll just turn around and start hitting it. So, still some idle time. Nice little forest fire. Would have been nice to have killed that one villager. She's sitting right here with 2 hit points. Do I have an early access code? I do. I think I can say this. I'm one of the, like, I don't even know what you call it, like the playtesting people of the community. So kind of early access. I've only played Japanese just a little bit. I would rather just kind of find out exactly what it's like with everybody else. Um, it's fun. I mean, will it? Yeah, I think it's cool. We do have an early second Valkyrie here. That's very important in any match. I mean, you want to get your Valkyries out as soon as possible. You'd see top players like running around and killing all the Hun on the map in order to get favor, to get more Valkyrie or get, what is it, Thundering Hooves. But we'll see how it goes. He's just coming forward with the two Valkyries, whereas Ironhide, being Freyr, is kind of sitting, maybe not happily in his base, but is sitting in his base and is going for a very defensive approach, a lot of infantry, whereas Swerteko we saw was going cavalry, and has to be careful. This is there's a lot of timings you can do where you kind of, as a raiding player, which I am. Oh, he's raiding cavalry, or oof, loses two just like that. The Valks are up against the Hersier. Gotta watch out. A lot of low hit point Villies. Gets one. Runs the Valks. Okay, nice. The raiding cavalry not so nice. The Valkyrie's a lot nicer, and they can heal each other up. But anyway, what I was getting at before I was interrupted is a lot of times what I'll look at as a raiding aggressor is like keeping an eye on the trees. So like as soon as a tree is chopped, I can come right in and get on the villager. So like this is really dangerous here, where if like Swerteko's kind of noticed that in his planning to come in, because actually right now there is a hole. And he could just run in a couple units here and pick off your 2 hit point villager, maybe do a little bit more. We have a hill fort coming in. Has scouted this gold mine, so was wanting to kind of fortify up this corner of the map. You got a couple of berserks coming forward just to, I guess, see what's happening. And Swerteko is kind of got a few units all over. Now he's killing the Hun on the map, getting that free favor. But yeah, Vortiger, I am also intrigued by what seems to be Poseidon number 2, which is one of those Japanese gods. Can they get in? They think they can get in there. Maybe it's not quite a hole yet. Yeah, there is. There is. Oh, now does he kill more than one? Gets 2 villagers. Get in the tower. Woo! It's a dwarf? Maybe? Yeah, see, that's where as the defender, you just gotta watch your wood lines so very closely. Now, interestingly, on this map, not a lot of great wood lines. Was from here, garrisoned, went up here. Maybe should have just gone back to this wood line. Maybe there was a reason Ironhide didn't initially, but some nice early pressure. We have Ironhide grabbing a town center. He is believing that he could kind of be a more slow game here, get a lot of economy, grab this gold mine, and just kind of sit and use Freyr's extra defense, extra cheap technologies to kind of burst out mid to late game. Whereas Swerteko, he's not going to want that. Swerteko probably just wants to hit like a heroic age timing attack with either Nord or what's the other one? You get Frost. Who hit? Go Scotty. Get one of those in. We have 4 Valkyries. Not very close to aging up. Actually, Ironhide is a lot closer to aging. I do like these walls. What we saw from Swerteko in the first series that Swerteko played was a lot of kind of early kind of pressure into just late game map, like mid game map control, into like a very careful like mid to late game push, kind of using the map control at advantage in order to accomplish that. So we'll see if he kind of continues that similar gameplay here. Now, it's a very slow reaction here, and we'll lose a villager because of it. It's not like it was a surprise that these units were breaking through the wall. So Swerteko, nice job here. Other than the The raiding cavalry he lost early. Been a pretty careful game by Swerteko. Well, how did you not see? It's like he was attacking it, and then just ran right through. You should have noticed, but that's okay. Everybody, you know, when you're playing, it's I mean, half the time I play, I don't even realize that my town center isn't training villagers, so who am I to talk? Ooh, I have noticed something, though. I like this box formation, though. Swerteko tends to like this box formation kind of a thing. It's kind of funny. But one thing I've noticed is that Swerteko does not know about this gold mine down here. Should know, because for the most part, while the maps aren't technically mirrored and retold, they kind of are. So like should know, hey, I've got a back gold mine. The big tree is over here. The opponent is kind of mirrored. The big tree is here, which means there's going to be a back gold mine somewhere in here. So should kind of be able to figure that out despite not even scouting it. Grabbing a town center. These Hersier running in at the very, very wrong time. And they get, they scout the town center, but they give their lives up for it. So a little unfortunate there as we, let's take a look at our eco upgrades. That's the low reaction time. You're right. That's okay. Hello, two face. Heavy. This Raven is just flying here. Ooh, if I'm Swerteko, I come in at this right now. I've gotten the advantage. I've killed quite a few more villagers. Feel like I'm probably ahead in military. I'm coming over right now with everything I've got. We do have the age up with Aiger. Gives Tempest, which for some reason I keep calling Barrage. Sees all these villagers down here. Now, ooh, actually, I like what Swerteko did here. We'll see if Ironhide took the bait. It looks like he did. So Swerteko attacked down here to attract Ironhide's defending army, and then Ironhide reacted by sending everything over. Well, what happened to that wall? That one, like, wall foundation must have only had like one hit point left or something, and gets a few more villagers because of that. So all done by Swerteko. I feel like there must have, I'd have to go back and actually see what happened there. I think this one wall segment had like one hit point left, and he attacked it once and it just died right away. And we do have Swerteko up with Frost. Did Swerteko scout that? Okay, did scout that. Comes in here. These raiding cavalry will end up giving up their lives, I do believe. I don't know if there's a way out at this point. They are looking at villagers. These two are just staring at each other. There they go. And they're not the quickest of reactions. Gets one bill. Just maybe two villagers? Maybe managed that a little bit better. Could have killed a few more villagers. But yeah, we've got the 4 Valkyries, the Frost Giant. We'll probably have a Frost and then a Tempest used all at the same time. Actually, if I'm Swerteko here, I don't even worry about this. So my opponent here is Ironhide. Got himself all defended up. Really nice spot. Can't really push into here. Like, if I'm Swerteko here, I'm kind of looking at my own gold mine and realizing, hey, I only got 3,000 gold left, which kind of gives me the information that probably Ironhide's only got 3,000 gold left, which in a few minutes, that means Ironhide's going to have to come out and get a gold mine. So Swerteko really shouldn't attack unless he thinks he can, like, force out the Tempest in defense. Swerteko should just work it, kind of keeping Ironhide off balance. Just, you know, maybe attack here, run away, maybe attack over here, again, come over down here, and just keep Ironhide busy. while Swerteko should really wall this off to kind of close this gold mine off, and then could really just kind of sit up here on this side of the map, and then go for that, not the second gold mine starve, but the third gold mine starve. As lots of goats in the base. Look at these villagers just chopping this tree in the middle of the shallows. And okay, now that Swerteko sees this up here, kind of realizing, or should realize now, that this is where Ironhide's attempting to come forward and get the gold mine. Swerteko is behind in military, ahead in villagers. Ironhide going forward with an ill-advised assault here. Throwing axemen go down, the rams go down, and now kind of out the pushing power. And this is a very awkward fight. I don't know why these units are repairing the hill fort here. And here comes Tempest, just garrison. Kind of an awkward engage here by Ironhide. Kind of comes forward, loses his siege, and then realizes he's taking a bad fight underneath the hill fort, and then uses Tempest to fall back. Pressure didn't quite work out the way he hoped, and so now this gives the advantage very much to Swerteko here, where you were trying to navigate the frost, but Swerteko kind of outmaneuvered you by just not using it. So yeah, it would have been very tempting as Swerteko to use the frost there. Ooh, get on this. Killing these rock giants this is so big here. These guys are just absolute tanks. And yeah, this is a nice fight, I think, for Swerteko to keep taking. However, he needs to realize that he's got the advantage now. Now with Frost, Swerteko should be able to complete the gold starve. Because with that big fight, we've got Ironhide's going to have to use a lot of his gold to replenish his villager or his army. So yeah, this is where Swerteko should kind of notice or realize this is now what I need to do. Is I just took a good fight. I've got map control for the most part. Come up here with Frost and should be able to finish the game off if he reads that correctly. Sitting a little bit long here. So there's no point, if you're Swerteko, there's really no point in sitting here because you're at 190 pop. This is where you want to push. And well, it looks like he's doing it. He's just kind of... I mean, probably is ahead enough at this point he could push through here and get a really huge advantage. But really the straightforward way to win is to come over here. So he is checking the gold mine with the raiders. We have the pig that was used on all of the rams. But there's only the pig here right now. So well, actually, Swerteko will fight the pig and Piggy will go down. We have a frost on the army. Not a huge army. I think Ironhide tried to split it again. And Swerteko takes a pretty solid game one win here. That was pretty well played by Swerteko. Not a lot of mistakes here. Played this game pretty solid. And Ironhide just wasn't quite prepared or just got caught off guard by the early raids, lost some villagers, and then took a pretty unfortunate fight. Just maybe not, I don't know, maybe not paying attention quite enough. Lost some units, had to use a really awkward Tempest. But yeah, well played by Swerteko. That was a nice game. Odin's a tough matchup for any god, really. Just the amount of pressure that Odin can put on early into still maintaining like an economy advantage with behind that. It's tough. But let us move on to game two. I'm hoping I have them in order here. I actually don't know who wins. I don't know how many games there are. And I think I'm watching them in the correct order. So we went from the unknown to Ironhide's home map of Watering Hole. And we've got Swerteko as Hades versus Ironhide's Freyr. Really wanting to save. Was this like some sort of early temple build here? It looks like it, yeah. So it gets just enough wood to... Actually, I think they're 4 wood short of getting Vault of Erebus. So... Or we'll just build the... How much does Vault of Erebus cost? I guess I'll find out here soon. Oh, it's in here. 215. Never mind. Just needs a lot of wood. Just wanted to get that temple up to start praying. It's like an expensive tech. I mean, it's essentially worth 2 villagers, so certainly the earlier you get it out, the better. Will kind of naturally result in, I would think, a very slow and defensive game here, where maybe we might be in for a bit of a longer one that'll maybe start a little bit slow. Ragnarok's asked, have I seen Japanese? I put a little bit of time into Japanese early access, whatever you want to call it, but not a lot. I would rather just kind of find out what it's like with everybody else. Basically just put enough time into it to say, hey, this seems pretty fun. And then it's like, hey, this seems pretty fun. And then left it at that. So that was about all of my experience thus far. As we see the Minotaur chasing. Ooh, Swerteko with the little relic snag here. He gets infantry. This is a nice one to get. Infantry of better hack armor. I almost wonder if Swerteko intentionally attacked the Herseer to slow it down. So that he could maybe guarantee. Ooh, gets 1 villager. It does give up his life. Minotaur for villager, maybe not the best thing. We got throwing axeman here. 3 versus 1 against Achilles. I mean, Achilles is a... Oh! Oh! Walled him off just like that. I'm a little surprised to not see Ironhide just getting like a quick town center here. He does spot this with the house. He's going to come forward now. So maybe a little scared, like you don't really have scouting of the enemy to know exactly what the enemy's doing, and maybe if the enemy comes forward with like an army here, you don't want to grab an early town center and get kind of caught out. So it looks like we'll smartly grab the forward town center, and it gets a ton of hunt here, so we can kind of go faster. Waiting for the resources. Let's switch the sides here. Blue's on the right. There we go. I think maybe players would... better players would probably be able to get this town center up quicker. The good players are so good at like maxing greed and still being able to defend. Loses the house. And that's always tricky to do, because you really have to understand kind of matchups pretty well to be able to maximize, you know, the economy without getting absolutely blasted off the map. Got the eco upgrades, a lot of villagers on these berries. There's some hunt up here. Let's wall this off. Probably checking to see if there's a connector over here with this berserk, and there is not one, it looks like. Nice second gold mine as well. Swerteko got a relic that makes buildings more resistant to siege weapons. Hey, that's from the old game. Still got your chicken here. Don't forget about your chickens. Where are they going? Down here. Lots of hunt. Gets a house. Coming forward. We're not grabbing another town center, are we? We're just checking things out. Going up Aegir. Gonna maybe throw down a hill fort up here. You still got your Asgardian Bastion. Sentinels randomly used. This guy's coming forward. Oh, got some cavalry on the board. The Rock Giant will figure that out pretty easily. And now that we're 11 minutes in, maybe we can kind of slow the game down and see in the dark what has Swerteko been doing. Swerteko's going up Aphrodite. Has 3 upgraded Bull Minotaur. We do have the Asgardian Bastion getting thrown down in the middle of the map. Sebi first, thank you for being my first viewer of the day. Appreciate you as always. You're always first. We are watching, if you are coming in late, I have no idea what's going on. We're watching the Athenian League, which is a tournament I host. Primarily for non-expert players, because I like non-expert players better. And we've got, what, I think 44 players in Season 3, split up into 4 skill tiers. We are watching the classical skill tier here. They are, classical is the bottom of the 4 skill tiers, but that does not mean they are the least important. All tiers are equally important. We got these cavalry over here. How did they get in? Kills the ox cart. Kills the dwarf. The random berserk back here will give up her life. Aphrodite in this map, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed to see Aphrodite from the Hades. I would rather see Underworld. I think there's just more fun things you can do with an Underworld because, like, I don't know what Aphrodite gets you here as the Hades player that Underworld doesn't. Like, Underworld's pretty cool. You can maybe pressure up here and then Underworld to the back and split up the enemy, force out maybe a defensive god powers, and then come back here. I just don't know what Aphrodite gives. Like, what do you want to do as Aphrodite here? And currently Swerteko looking like he doesn't want to do anything. That is walling up, walling up, walling up. Eco upgrades are pretty solid. Let's chop through that wood line there. Building another temple. Why 2 temples? These cavalry are still running around. They're like split off from the rest of the empire. Can't help. They're stuck. Lots of hill forts here. And see, this is where the Underworld would work so good. Your opponent gets this middle part of the map all fortified up. You could just Underworld right on top of the base and kind of ignore all the defenses here. So we'll see who wins late. I mean, your Freyr really techs up crazy with the half-off upgrade, so they take longer to research. But you know, there's so many resources that get saved as the game keeps on going. That, well, yeah, I mean, if you get to the point where the Hades gets multiple plenty vaults, then you're probably behind. But I'm talking more of like that early Mythic Age, where, you know, maybe a minute and a half into when all of the upgrades come in for Freyr because they're all cheap. I feel like that's a wider window than what the Hades has at that time frame. Got stone walls. The Hades here is definitely in for the late game. It's just very content to give up the entirety of the map. It's flying a Pegasus around like He thinks he has Underworld. Doesn't. We see the Petrobolo attacking here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Draugrs. We've got the Tempest. Now you just get back. Don't fight through this. What are you doing? What in the world are you doing? Okay, there we go. Swerteko, get out of there. I mean, you got walls. Should have just ran out as soon as Tempest came in, because I mean he can kind of nicely hide behind these walls. I do like these walls as the kind of the defender, so to speak. We got Ajax. For some reason, the Draugrs are attacking this really offensive wall segment right there, and they are giving up their lives for it. And in the end, I think this is going to be a fairly decent fight for Swerteko. Got a few units coming around the bottom, and yeah, now Ironhide has stepped in a little bit too far. Here comes, yeah, send it right through. Here it comes. It's such a cool looking god power. Nice garrison here, not to lose all those units, but I think Ironhide can just push through. Ironhide's like way ahead. That is a cool god power. Man, I love Freyr. Freyr's cool. They did a really good job with Freyr. Here's a restoration after everything's dead. And this will be a Ironhide's going to return the favor here in game 2 and get a pretty easy game 2 win against a very defensive Hades. Yeah, not even aging up here. Swerteko's just way behind. Yeah, I don't think you could kind of turtle like this against Freyr. Freyr just loves kind of being able to defend easily and get all those cheap technologies. Here comes Fafnir. Another really cool looking unit. Like, everything about Freyr just, it all just looks cool. It is cool. Like, they had some good ideas. Whoever was like the main catalyst behind Freyr, give that person a raise. Freyr turned out really well. Of all of the new content in Retold, I think Freyr is like by far and away the best like aspect of it. Swerteko not wanting to resign. Feels like he has some sort of magical comeback potential here, being blocked off from gold and not being able to do anything. Hello, Lordy! How are you? Sorry you were too busy to miss Athenian League Season 3, but that's okay. Life's important. A lot more important than Age of Mythology. Alright, get a roast on this. Oh, no, not him. Get a roast on these Taxotes. Okay, we retreated this far back to come forward, and Ajax is running back as well. And Ironhide's Fafnir is chasing the heroes, because why wouldn't he? And plus 300 gold, that's how Swerteko plans on maintaining his gold production. Does defend this, somehow. This is kind of an awkward wood line here that has resulted in the loss of several ballista. And Ironhide maybe went out a little bit too far, but this Swerteko doesn't have the ability to reinforce. And has to run away from this wood line that doesn't look like a wood line, but is. Everything's running smoothly. That's good. Glad to hear that, Lordy. Wait a minute. He's got wood down. He's got gold down here. But an age behind, line of upgrades behind. The defense worked for just a little bit. We have a look at these. How many Revenant Draugrs do we have? We got 7 of them. Maybe it'd be nice to mix in like a few. Well, there's some Jarls. Here comes another restoration. Does heal up the Chiron, who is kind of slowly but surely picking away at those. But hey, GG. So Ironhide knots up the series 1-1 on a very defensive watering hole. So we get our game in, or our point in for Ironhide. This is a best of 5, so essentially we're at a best of 3 now. And yes, Swerteko just fell behind in economy. Lost a lot of villagers there at the front. Well done by Ironhide, who, yeah, has not made a single farm, just still happily hunting on the endless amounts of hunt that is the middle of the map. So we move on with our series to game numero 3. We move to, what is this, Alfheim looking thing? And Swerteko is playing as Kronos. Ironhide. Loki. Kronos versus Loki on Alfheim. Let's see what Swerteko's doing. Is Swerteko going for like one of those really cheeky early temple forward shifts? Nope. Building a manor, so a little bit slower of an attack. Wait a minute here. I need to see something. Deconstructed a house. Hoping probably to pot block Ironhide. Didn't quite work out, so kind of just a waste of a deconstruct. And I guess deconstruct will be back up later, but you'd kind of like it to be able to deconstruct the temple right away. You do see Prometheus coming. Yeah, like now you can't deconstruct the temple. What in the world was with that deconstruct? I'm really confused by that. Swerteko is aged up. As the... Oh, what? Doesn't get either of them. A little bit greedy there. A little bit greedy. Yeah, imagine if deconstruct had been safe for this temple. Get those Prometheans out. They kind of get the early pressure. Whoa, oh no! You got to keep these garrison until it's safe. Oh, there we go. 2 kills for Swerteko. And now they retreat out. 2 villagers down at 4:15 into the game. That's pretty nice for Swerteko. What does Swerteko do behind this, though? I'm not sure. Time shifts the temple back. Runs the oracle back. You know, one thing about Kronos that has always annoyed me. You haven't seen it yet in this game, but I hate it that when you time shift a temple that has like relics in it, the relics all pop out. That's really annoying. It's like you almost have to build like a second temple in order to use Kronos' bonus. What are we getting here? This Rig Stula. What is it? This is one of those. One of those newfangled upgrades that didn't exist in the original. Building work rate plus 20% of base. I think that works for the town center, which makes them build villagers faster. What upgrade did is that just a new upgrade? Like, did it replace one? So we still got safeguard. Still got this thing. I don't feel like it was called Yalar Horn in the first game. I'm getting a town center here. A little Murmillo coming in to poke at the villagers. Will she get away? I think she will. Yep. Of course, because the Murmillo gets distracted every time another unit runs past, so forget attacking that one. Another villager came by. Ironhide has this scouted. Anyway, happy Saturday to everybody. It's late Friday night for me. Very early Saturday morning. But happy Saturday to everybody. Hope you all are having a good weekend. Murmillo dies. Bravely chopping from the front wood line, just asking for this gatherer to die. We'll see if she survives the game. Can I put her as a control group? No. Another hearse here. What in the world is this name? Thorgir Lasvetnik. Doesn't even fit. Little baby Promethean. Well, now, what do you do if we're talking strategy here? So, Ironhide loses a few of the villagers. Sees this town center getting built. What do you do here as the Loki? This is a map that's kind of hard to be aggressive on. Especially because Swerteko's done such a nice job of walling off the bottom half of the map. Maybe. Is that walled off? Do you just go one town center and try to do like a fast heroic push? Or what do you do? I feel like for Ironhide, if you just grab a town center at this point, you're just behind in economy. There's no point in using it. We'll hit fast forward a little bit during these slow parts of the game. Hey, Ironhide, he goes to my school of thought when it comes to walls here. He's putting it this way so he can put a gate into it. So, I hate building a wall that is not long enough for a gate. So, like, I hate this wall. I hate this wall. I hate, though, this wall. So there is a wall up here. I hate this wall. You can't walk through it as your defender. Like, kind of half the point of having a gate is, or a wall is so that you can safely retreat through it. But if it's not big enough to have a gate, it's almost in some ways as much of a blockade to you as it is to the opponent. So like I always try to build, like instead of this I would build it like here so it's just a little bit longer to get that gate in. Will it really matter? No, but I like it. It's just, generally speaking, it's probably always better to be able to have a gate in. It's so weird seeing these type of games because I don't play like this at all. Oh, seeing these slow games is something different for me. First line of eco upgrades. Our Loki has first line as well. Way ahead in villagers is Swerteko. This is where I don't like the grabbing of that second town center. Because you're just so behind already. Grabbing a town center like 2 or 3 minutes behind your opponent just kind of puts you further behind. Like you're now at that point saying, all right, we're playing the booming game. I'm just going to boom 3 minutes later than you are. Which, you know, you want to be able to, you know, counter with something. Now getting the damage in on that wall, trying to push forward. There are more red units somewhere. Hello, Darth. Nox, good to see you. Taking a while to get through this wall here. There's one Catapultes here, and here come the Murmillos coming in to help defend. Alright, he's through the walls just in time to be chased back by the Murmillos. Just through this wall. Kind of see what's going on over here. Sees the Catapultes. This is a very dangerous place to be for these raiders. You're just kind of asking for them to all die. Ooh, let's get this scouted. There's nothing protecting this, but the villagers building it quick enough. Yeah, I told you! I told you what was going to happen. Nobody ever listens to me. My kids don't, my wife don't. Ironhide, he doesn't either. And no spoilers. I don't know what the results are. But I agree, it does look pretty rough, this game for Ironhide. Darth Knox is playing Ironhide later. What tournament is that? Is that the one where you had like a $5 buy-in or something different? Olympian Rage. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I guess the €5 buy-in. Look at these throwing axemen chasing after. I like this. Players should do this more often. Like just time shift random buildings here and there as Kronos. It's just so annoying to deal with. And this Murmillo will get a kill. Will die for his efforts. But yeah, just doing this just kind of forces Ironhide to stay defensive, which just helps Swerteko getting map control. But now his Murmillo are dying, kind of like how these raiding cavalry died. How many players Darth Knox ended up signing up for that tournament? The Oracle here is slowly getting brought down by the Axemen. Ooh, taking that town center. That's a bold town center grab. I mean, I guess at this point you kind of gotta hope that you can grab that third town center and maybe come back with the economy. Kind of drag it late. I don't know. There's not any siege here. It's getting just a couple destroyers out. Looks like only medium destroyers. Probably wants more than just medium. Eco upgrades. This is the first line. You'd like to have your second line of upgrades. Here. Ironhide has the second line of upgrades. Do have flaming weapons. That's a dangerous one. Watch out for these hearse here, though. Come the two destroyers. Yeah, can Ironhide hold this? I don't know if Ironhide can. Kind of going in for maybe a... You know, if you can get a surround on these Kira Ballista, that'll be good. We have a Chaos use, which will probably put an end to the surround. It sure does. And these Kira Ballista are just raining down hellfire here. And flaming weapons has been used on not a lot of units all of a sudden. And yeah, this is looking pretty unfortunate. Yeah, the Chaos too. And here come the throwing axemen. They're late to the party. They'll try their hand at the Kira Ballista, just get absolutely demolished. Sorry, we're late. Wow, yeah. That did not go how Ironhide hoped it would. And yeah, flaming weapons with chaos, then they just do more damage to each other during that time. So that's just kind of an awkward one. And this is a game where the early pressure, the early two vills into a town center, I just would have liked, and then we have some idle town center time here. Looking like my kind of villager graph. I think you got to go for, given losing the villagers and then being that far behind and building a second town center, I think you just got to go for like a one town center, fast heroic timing push and just hope it works. Because at this point, you're just doing the same thing he's doing, just 3 minutes behind, and that doesn't work out. But all right, so Swerteko is up 2-1. Underdog going in. But the series isn't over. However, Ironhide's back is up against the wall. There may or may not be 5 games. I always get 5 recorded games sent to me, so we'll see what happens. We are on, looks like Elysium. Ironhide is Loki again, and this time Swerteko is moved over to Set. I feel like I'd be pretty happy to be the Set player in this matchup. I think Egyptian can do some things to Norse. My favorite thing about Egyptians is to check the name of the pharaoh. It is not Gunner. So if he's not Gunner, who is he? If you don't know, and if you've got like 1,000 of my channel points, you can put in requests to name a Herseer or name a Pharaoh. And somewhere in the channel options, I don't even know where it is. So you do that, I edit my little files, and then you get your custom names, and it's so much fun. You keeps people on the edge of their seats. But yeah, Ironhide was undefeated in the group stage. Swerteko, I believe, lost one series, maybe two. I think just one. We're in the semifinals, best of 5. So Swerteko only needs to win one of these last 2 games. Ironhide needs to win both. But the hard part about this tournament is that once you win with a god, you can't repeat a god. So Swerteko, would probably at this point set is probably what Swerteko feels is his 3rd best god. So you're kind of having to run your 3rd best god into the opponent's maybe 2nd best god here in Loki. So it's a little bit tough. Now Swerteko does like to do this early snake shenanigans. Used vision here. Will he use snakes on the economy? It doesn't look like it. Just a psych. Just to keep Ironhide scared. The 2 barracks are coming up here. Probably a nice healthy dose of Anubites and Axemen and Spearmen. And yeah, we have 1 Anubite coming up here. Already a Guardian. And we'll be sending another one. I would like to see, though, like a 2nd monument coming up here soon. Especially if you're getting the upgrade to make monuments do better. So essentially, if it's plus 25%, by putting a 2nd one up, you're basically getting a 3rd one, just like that. If you combine the 2. Getting a relic. What is this relic? Villagers move faster. That's a nice little relic. Anybody running around? Just got to be careful. Don't want to lose him. Loki does handle this a little bit better with the faster infantry. I don't know if he has the tech yet. Doesn't look like it. Also getting Serpent Spear. Here come the villager, or the spearmen up here. Looking at getting a kill. Yep, running away. There you go. Nice little care. Little nice, it's a nice little pressure here from Swerteko. Runs this Anubite in on the top, runs the spears in over here, runs these over here. Just got to be careful that you don't lose your units needlessly. The green effect is the poison that the Serpent Spear gives. Would be nice to see heal up his spearmen. But yeah, what he's missing here is that 2nd monument to get more Anubites. Now we're getting Hall of Thanes in. And we'll heal up the units. Send 3 more spearmen over. There's the 2nd monument. Would have liked to have just seen that get up just a little bit sooner. Man, I'm glad they updated the effects, like the visual effects of the monument. It used to be like a bunch of red bugs, and it was really disgusting and annoying to look at. Spears have prevented this wall from going up. The Herseer here runs to the tower. Jumps in. Was he going to die when he pops out? Yeah. Uh-oh. And not a great trade there. This is where, like, being the aggressor, you do have to be careful because you forget about a group of units for just a little bit and now all of a sudden you're losing them. This wall is not quite finished, but is about to be, and our Loki is being very defensive. Pushed into his base. Coming out again with the Hersier. Has vision here. Sees that. Swerteko looks like he's trying to go up heroic. See, I don't think you gain a whole lot by going heroic here. Because you're happy with your barracks units. So just make a big barracks army. Just make a big barracks army and sit them here, and you're probably feeling pretty good. I just don't know the value you get out of aging up in this situation. Hunting on the bottom, losing more spearmen. Has now lost 5 spearmen for no real reason. And like upgrades the Guardian Anubite, but then doesn't make any additional Guardian Anubites. No eco upgrades. Has a few of them. We still do have snakes. We will have Citadel, which is a very defensive god power. Use it on your town center. Makes your town center a lot stronger. Now, aging up does give you more natural resources. Set gets the free animals. I don't like this. I don't like this construction here. Like, just wasting time having to come through here. Just forget this part of it and just build the wall from here to here. Putting up a Migdol. What does Ironhide do? Ironhide knows it's coming, but doesn't have the units to pressure it. But yeah, I would rather than put 1,300 resources into this age up, I'd just rather see a big barracks army. Here's a second Anubite. Hersier are going to be in position if the Anubites happen to jump over the fence. Raiding cavalry are sitting in line of sight of the tower. Not sneaky at all. Citadel used. But yeah, like, what do you get out of building this? Like, surely just Slinger's Spearmen is a fine mix of units to use here. Like, makes a chariot, but what do you need it for? What happened? Oh, they're up here. Oh, careful here. These Hersier will be able to catch up with this. With the 5 speed, it's not very fast. Jump! There you go. I don't think he's going to get away, though. The Hersier are faster. Where is Red going? Oh, Red's scared about this raid. Swerteko could probably gold starve right now. Up an age. Up army. Has the Snakes god power. Swerteko really needs to be going aggressive here. Shouldn't be sitting this long. There's really no reason to be sitting. Like, you have a mobile army. You've got primarily spears, chariots, and camels. You could go forward, and if you happen to get in a fight that you don't really want, you can just retreat. And now you can't really fight once Bragi gets in, because then flaming weapons will kick your butt. So it should be pushing this before it comes in. Throwing Axemen are not even here right now. Like, imagine these units get sent in. Like, this is where you at least gotta check. I mean, maybe you poke in and Ironhide has more units than you have, but you have to check. You can't just sit. This is a really awful siege workshop placement too. Like he's just gonna path block himself. I mean, you put a wall here and you got what you want. But we do have Bragi in. Now that kind of timing that Swerteko had is just kind of disappeared. He has a lot of spearmen that aren't really going to do anything. Spearmen are coming back to help defend against the raiding cavalry. Camel's coming forward just to scout and see what's going on. And oh, you gotta watch out for your raiding cavalry. 1, 2 down, just like that. These spears tried to come in for the block and didn't quite. Oh, no, they do anyway. Ooh, that's tough. 7 raiding cavalry down just like that. Okay, he does not do all these missed. Ooh, the boulder does hit. 2 hit point camel running up. Sees these units sitting here with this nicely placed obelisk. I like that obelisk. It's a nice spot for it. Wants to wall this all off so you can kind of happily stay down here in all of these resources. There's still just this, I think, probably a hole right there. Nice little trades here for the... Oh, you jumped into the wrong time. Trolls coming in up here. All right, we're going to have a pretty big fight here. I just don't know if Swerteko can push through a flaming weapons. These camels need to fall back. There's really no need for them to be forward like this. There we go. All right, but now see, like the spears will just get absolutely blasted by all the throwing axemen. I don't know if I like the camels here. I think your chariots or just slingers are what you need. You don't actually want to chase this. We do have the healing springs. So you just took a decent fight here as Swerteko. You know that he's trying to heal up all of his army because of the healing spring was used. You should really, again, come in here and just annoy these villagers. Here comes the siege tower. Yeah, I think what'll happen here is like the spears are going to get absolutely destroyed by the throwing axemen because there's too many spears. I gotta watch out. Ooh, that's a... You see, this is not a fight that Swerteko wants. He should just fall back further. No. Okay. Maybe a little bit premature flaming weapons. We got snakes used here. Just fall back from here. Like, you can retreat out of here and hopefully fight another day. Don't want to lose too much. Okay, not bad. Not gunners coming in to kind of check things out. Alright. I like the retreat wall here, but you're losing all of your priests. This isn't what you want. Villagers are not going. Okay. Alright. Why are they so confused? Is he not? He doesn't have a gate here. That's why there's no gate. Not a disaster of flaming weapons. These priests were left behind. The pharaoh is having a death wish here. He gets in. Now this is starting to get a lot of... You know, if you have heavy chariot archery at this point, though, there's really no point in building slingers. Well, oh wow, we're losing some throwing axemen here trying to get this hill fort up. Okay, not a bad little trade here. I still don't know if you can stay here. Would have liked Swerteko would have made a few more walls, because now he's kind of stuck where the cavalry can just come right in. Villagers running out through the Jarls, and right now Swerteko's having a hard time with all these Jarls. They are in on the chariots, doing a ton of damage. Look at all these chariots that fell. That would have been some really big boulder tosses there. And all of a sudden, not looking good for Swerteko here. Just the throwing axemen killed the spearmen that existed faster than the spearmen were able to kill the Jarls. And the unupgraded slingers probably aren't the things here. See, I would have just rather, this is where I would have just rather seen spear slinger in classical age and just gone for a gold starve. I think it would have worked for Swerteko. We have 15 spearmen in the bank. Behind by 9 villagers. Behind an army. It's going to be a tough win for Swerteko here. Well, if you're going to come all the way back, you might as well heal up for a little bit. Well, it looks like that's what he's doing, but got these units that you could heal as well. It's good eco upgrades. Swerteko also has pretty solid upgrades. Was about to run out of like food on the map. We have heavy chariots, heavy spears, slightly smaller army. No Migdol anymore, so we aren't going to see any more chariots. Instead, we're making a lot of Anubites. Picking off a few units that wandered a little bit too far forward. Now here come the rest, but yeah. Swerteko is kind of getting some nice trades here, but needs to get a lot of nice trades. This is a scary mass of trolls. All these boulders getting tossed everywhere. Boy, I'd like to see medium slinger. Looking good for Ironhide. Ironhide's in a really good spot here. Swerteko has 3,000 gold still on the bottom. So it's got time yet to kind of get full pop. Maybe grab a town center if he really wants, like this one. The Hersier have spotted the Anubites. Probably don't really want to be sending them forward at this point in the game. Like at this point, little raids don't really give you much benefit here. You're just basically losing units. Because even if you kill like, maybe kill 3 or 4 villagers, it doesn't really matter. And look at all of this stuff that's in queue, and we do have hell coming in, so we'll have a nice Nidhogg to look at, and more Anubites are getting killed because there just was no reason to send them forward. Yeah, the eyes in the forest, you can just see it's like map hacks. Legal map hacks, eyes in the forest. You just see so much of the map because of it. And there's hell coming in. We have quite the force here, along with the Nidhogg flying in, and it's really over dramatic fly in. Where is it? Oh, it's down here. And what is he going to do? Well, do something. No, not that way. You could have went right through all the archers. Well, glad we could see the Nidhogg come in and then cowardly fly away. How many trolls do you want? Ironhide. Yes. However, I'm going to keep them all throwing at buildings while there's a big fight down here. Yeah, you sure did cast them on the priest. Yeah, no Nephthys is just an unusual choice against Loki. These slingers have killed all of the throwing axemen though. Well, all but 2, I guess. And we see the trolls combating the spearmen, tossing them away with. There we are. Now we're getting the Nidhogg chasing the chariots away. Oh, got distracted by this priest. We have snakes being used to save the day. Nidhogg is really mad at that priest there. We've got the chariots just like in a perfect spot to flame them all. Here we go. There we go. Look how much damage it does. It did. It did its most damage in like the last like split second of its health. The Nidhogg gave itself up for the win as we go to a very dramatic game 5. This is for everything here in this game. Game 5 is what we've all been waiting for. Yeah, at least he did something right at the end. There was a window in this game for Swerteko to push that front gold mine, but didn't do it. Kind of missed the window. But yeah, I would have just liked to have seen just Swerteko staying classical age and fighting with barracks units and Anubites. But Swerteko kind of used this strategy in his previous games, where like early pressure into a fast heroic. I just don't think the fast heroic gives much. Now in this series there were actually 5 games as we go into game 5. Now Ironhide is in the chat. Is he in the chat to relive a dramatic victory in game 5? Or is Ironhide someone who likes punishment and is watching so that he can be disappointed again? We'll have to see as we're in game 5 here with Swerteko switching over to Thor. Nice variety of gods that Swerteko has played. Has decided that the set isn't what he wanted and is switching over to Thor in this last game as we have our Odin on the right. Has Ironhide. I think so this would have been Swerteko's home map. I don't know if you're going Thor if you pick this map. I don't know. I think there would be other maps that you would want as Thor here. Especially when Ironhide, being a Norse player, has Odin on the table. I don't think you want to play on step against Odin. Just seems a scary thing here. LAPD. Well, we'll see who has their hands up after this game. This is the last game, best of 5. This is for all the internet glory. Not much, but for all of it. To move on to the finals here in the classical tier of the Athenian League. The 3rd season of the Athenian League. And I tell you, in 15 years, there might be some people very interested to know who won the 3rd season of the Athenian League. So this could actually be a very important match here. Ironhide, well, no, this is Swerteko we're watching, is grabbing some relics here. He has something that makes houses have more hit points. He's grabbing another thing that makes Myth units use their specials more often. Probably won't really need that relic a whole lot. Has grabbed a lot of the goats. Ironhide has aged up, building a great hall because he wants raiding cavalry. May even build a second great hall. Do have a Valkyrie that will be coming forward for Swerteko. Who, again, also very interesting to go with, getting some damage in on the Valkyrie here. And we have a forest for, don't run through the forest with your hearse here. I've seen it happen. Boy, you gotta heal these bad boys up. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You stay far away from this forest. Only bad can happen. Nothing good can happen here. That does pick off the Valkyrie. Yeah, this burning ground is like so, it's just so sneaky. You don't think it does a whole lot, and then all of a sudden you look back and all your units are dead. So, but nice to save the Valkyrie. We'll be able to heal up to Hearse here. Getting a great haul and a great haul, but peculiar to pick Thor if you're not going to do like the armory strat. Walling off this back of the map, there's absolutely nothing back here other than it does protect the gold mine. We've got lots of goats here. 16 goats to, how many does Ironhide have? 11. So more goats for the Thor, who may just want to go from chicken to berries to goats. Some idle time here. It's a lot of sleeping villagers. This is the stuff you can't really afford in a game 5. There you go. Got a second Valkyrie up. So in the end, the forest fire dealt with. Units all healed up. Raiding cavalry coming forward. You want to be careful not to send them forward before Thundering Hooves, because if the opponent has Thundering Hooves, your raiding cavalry can all get caught out and dead, and then in a Norse war, that's kind of important. Ox cart optional right now for these guys. There we go. Swerteko may be feeling a little bit of the pressure in this game. Ooh, I saw some blue right here for just a minute. This is brave to come in like this, having no line of sight on anything. Does get a villager. I guess you always have forest fires, a bit of a get out of jail free card. Villagers are hunting forward. Just passing, kind of, yeah. Maybe could have picked a villager if it would have reacted a little bit faster. But yeah, this is where, in this matchup, if I'm Swerteko, who has more idle villagers, there's no way I'm going out of my base until I've used all of my in-base food. And that includes everything here. Berries, goats, not leaving until everything's gone. Not even getting these boar. It's just too dangerous. We have some 3 early Valkyries. Raiding cavalry coming back. Very similar military counts right now. The Valkyrie difference could be huge, so we can go back to Ironhide. Kind of threw away his initial Valkyrie, and now is behind 2 Valkyries. I think. Is there a third Valkyrie, or is there just 2? Maybe there's just 2. Trying to get the Aurora Borealis, which is a big upgrade, but not quite enough favor. So there's only 2 Valkyries. Ooh. Uh-oh. There might only be 1 Valkyrie here soon. Got Thundering Hooves, and what is this relic? Oh, better Pierce armor. That's not very important here. Keeps thinking there's going to be stuff over here, but I guess maybe going to sit on the gold. But there's towers. You don't really want to run through this. Come up here. Look out. There's all the villagers. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah, you don't... You might have to forest fire. Yeah. You'd like to be able to save your forest fire for something better than that. But yeah, that's why it's so dangerous to dive into. Like, if you see your opponent's base like this, and you don't have like a massively larger army, it's just the risk versus reward of running in. It's just not worth it. Don't do it. You just end up getting yourself in a bad situation. Swerteko's idle time is probably really haunting him a little bit. Because behind in military and really doesn't need to be. Is ahead in villagers now because of a couple armory upgrades. Would like to get the copper armor, I think. Is Thor. We'll be able to use the dwarven gold mine. There it is. Now has a Valkyrie upgrade almost. As Bragi pre-queued. Sees these raiding cavalry here. Was like, well, let's fight. Kills the unit. No Thundering Hooves for Swerteko. I don't know. This is risky, though, now to go out this far because you have some slower units here. I don't know what... Oh. Yeah, see, now Swerteko's kind of stuck in a bad spot. And we'll be losing units on the retreat. This Valkyrie is stuck in the middle. But hey, nice little kind of counter there. And yeah, I thought that would go really bad for Swerteko, but did okay with that. Is getting another Valkyrie, but so is Ironhide. Just throwing some more buildings out, just willy-nilly. Dwarves are idle. Where do you go for gold? Alright, yeah, this is the last game, and you have to go. Doesn't know about this gold mine right here. That's really unfortunate. But you can't leave holes in your... Oh, I've seen it. Notices it? Come on, it's right here. Yeah, it hasn't noticed. You don't want to go to that forward one. Watch out for these Saxmen. Because actually, this is perfect. You can hunt here and mine here. You only have to protect one spot. That's a little unfortunate that he didn't notice that and just sit there, because now it's going to be a little bit split up. Has to protect this side. Has to protect here. I mean, it's only one screen away, but sometimes that's all it takes when you've got a huge army of raiding cavalry on the other side. Got a few villagers gathering up here. The raiders are coming in. Gotta really watch out. Okay. Alright. He sees it, but didn't see it. Like, scouted it on the way over, but just didn't notice. Can maybe do a little damage while these raiding cavalry are away. Pick a few units here. Oh. 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 You gotta just get out of here. So you know these raiding cavalry are coming in from this side. Would be nice to get the Valkyrie on the throwing axeman. Okay, here's a big fight here. The raiding cavalry are not where they need to be. But yeah, look at them. They're all over here. But I don't know if we have quite enough units. The throwing axeman need to pick off the Hersier. And the military numbers, maybe not quite it for red. Valk's running away. A huge fight right here. This is kind of the deciding fight here. It just seems a little bit kind of discombobulated. Raiding cavalry running away. Throwing axemen against throwing axemen. Valkyries died on the bottom. There's just more throwing axemen here. I think that's enough. We have a Valkyrie, just one. But this is kind of equal carnage here, but I think certainly that Ironhide just had a little bit better positioning here in all of these fights. And in these it's not really a mirror match, but it's kind of a mirror match where both players are playing basically the same. Like, once you fall behind in military, it's going to be hard for Swerteko to come back. But really big fight there, and Swerteko maybe could have just managed his troops a little bit better. Um, has the upgrades, but just seemed a little bit off. I think the spears came running in on the throwing axemen there. That would actually be an interesting fight to like roll back and see. But yeah, Swerteko's really going to have to do something pretty magical in order to bring this back because we're way behind in units right now. And we've got just a ton of Valkyries here from Ironhide. 5 of them, in fact. And not a lot of hearse here. And it's going to be tough sledding, especially if these throwing axemen go this way. Oh. Oh, it's still kind of doomsday for them anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, that was that big fight. The whole series decided by this huge fight here. And now blocked off from food, blocked off from gold, and blocked off from a Game 5 win. Poor Swerteko. Did really well all season. Nice change of pace from last season where Swerteko didn't quite do so well, but it has done really well in Season 3. But Ironhide looks to have this. I don't really see any way that Ironhide loses, especially with these 5 Valks coming down on the Dwarven mining operation. There we go. 6 Valks. And they come in, sit on the Dwarfies, and the Dwarfies are just getting absolutely blasted by the upgraded Shield Maiden Valkyries. And poor Swerteko wanted something a little different. Just with the whole map being this and being Thor, I would think you would choose maybe other maps, being Thor against Odin. Like this, I just think this map just goes right into Odin's strength. You know, maybe choose a little more closed off map for your Thor. Got all this throwing axeman mass here. Now come find the other villagers, and now it is completely hopeless for Swerteko, who resides in Ironhide with the big Game 5 win. Was down 2-1. Comes back and wins the last 2 matches, 3-2 to Ironhide. Well done. Another nice Game 5 series here. Thank you for the kind words there, AOM Chronic. Let's take a look. I'm going to go back and replay this fight. It was close enough to be an even fight. A lot of this early idle villager stuff really hurts Swerteko if we take a look here. There's just a lot of unnecessary idle villager time. Just to have these many idle for this long is a little bit rough, which is what contributed to the difference in economy. But it all came down to that big fight right here. The big fight. Let us, in fact, go back, since the replays you can actually fast forward now. Let's go back and watch that big fight again and maybe kind of slow-mo it and just kind of see what went wrong for Swerteko and what went right for an Ironhide in that fight. Because it started off pretty decent for Swerteko because the raiding cavalry were all in the wrong spot. But it didn't quite work out. Yeah, nice to get the Valkyrie out of the way. Like, you know, nice little start for Swerteko. But we are working our way towards just gotta fast forward to the fight. You're just a little bit behind. Okay, here's where we start coming into this fight. So here too, Swerteko at this right here could take a really nice engagement here. There's only two spearmen or herdmen. We've got 3 Valkyrie. Like, why run? Like, could have just come up here and got a nice surround initially on these throwing axemen. and probably got some kills, but didn't take advantage of that and ran back. But like even here, this is a nice. Swerteko's in a nice spot here because we have all of this is out of position. And Swerteko could chase this and get a really nice little engage here. Pick off probably 4 or 5 units and then maybe have to retreat. But doesn't take it. Like just a little indecisive and then comes in too far forward up at the top. No point in attacking a building here. Like all of this just doesn't need to be. Yeah, you have herdmen up here. The herdmen have gotten lost up against this infantry. And you kind of slow down. The Valkyrie come in on here, so that's good. But we have all of the herdmen have kind of gotten lost up here, and you've got a few just needlessly attacking the building. But still, see, not bad because you have all these raiding cavalry over here. Not enough units up here. The raiding cavalry coming. See, it's just your herdmen. The herdmen are not getting any value in this fight, and when they do come in, they're just up on this side where the raiding cavalry are over here. And now, yeah, just all the infantry on all the there's more infantry now. Ooh. Chasing through this throwing axemen. But you lose the Valkyrie. So yeah, just a little bit where Swerteko was in a decent position early on in the fight. Could have taken a lot of nice little picks here. And then the repositioning down here just gets blocked off by the buildings. And with the throwing axemen here, Swerteko would have been better served to retreat out of it at that point. Just the herdmen got all clogged up here and all died. So fall back a little bit with your army where you get the defender's reinforcement advantage and don't take a 50-50 right next to your opponent's base. You know, take the picks, the easy picks when you can. Take your little kills here with your fast mobile units. Keep your slower units back here. And just kind of live to fight another day and hope that, you know, again, defender's advantage. If you're taking a 50-50 fight, you don't really want to be up here because reinforcements come in faster for Ironhide. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. It's 5:20 in the morning for me. I am going to end it with a series win for Ironhide. So thanks all for watching. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. We'll have some more Athenian League matches coming up later this weekend. So got a handful that we'll be able to watch. Tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll go from there. And then, of course, we've got the Japanese coming in, 3 days? 3-4 days, depending. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, and bye.